conjecture.
Not ruthless, it's accurate. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of the Petty and Ill-Informed podcast, where we host our petty and ill-informed opinion about a variety of subjects. Joining me, Tom.
Yep, here again.
Tom's here again. And, well, we've got Gabby this week because Nikki couldn't make it. And, you got to have a woman on the panel these days.
Oh, woman. Howdy-ho. I know you'll struggle to understand me through my thick Midwestern accent.
Richard and Gabby, a Red Dwarf quote springs to mind right here. When Richard says a woman, the words, or a very close approximation.
I like that.
Very close.
Which is a line from the Red Dwarf episode Hollow Ship, where Lister is described not as being a human being, but as a very close approximation.
Lister to Red Dwarf.
Yep, that. We have an
I'm not always a woman, but I play one on the internet.
Fair dues. Whatever floats your boat, guys. So, how's your week been?
Well, if I may go first, I'm settling into my school. I think I'm trying to learn more and more about how it all works. Hopefully, forming good, positive working relationships with people around me, and the kids. Sort of trying to get to know them, find ways into their world. But they really enjoyed a lot of sort of games and sensory toys that I brought in, and all is well. Family are all well and good pretty much, and Hannah and I had a lovely date night last night when we went to see a film that was shot very near my school called Empire of Light, set in Margate, filmed in Margate, and wasn't too bad a film. Not perfect, but was enjoyable. Oh, I did it. I think I said my first ERM. Damn it.
ERM.
Herb.
Oh yeah, I've given up with that. Also, you just announced again to the internet where you work. So
I did not name my school, you oaf.
you said the town.
I got enough information out of it. See you tomorrow.
Gabby will find you. He's like a bloodhound.
Yeah. Irish bloodhound.
How was your week, Gabby?
It was crazy. My uncle fell and broke a couple of his toes, so I've been on uncle duty getting him to dialysis and doctor's appointments, and he can barely move. It takes 3 of us sometimes. But other than that, exhausting.
But Tom, what are you?
Okay. Am I messing everything up?
I can only assume someone's broken into Tom's house and he's being violently garroted right now, based on
we can only hope.
Sorry, I was just moving my laptop across the room. Sorry, guys. I wasn't meant to be making all sorts of clicking and clunking noises across the microphone. Alas, I'm not being garroted, much as you wish I was.
Despite the hopes of many.
Yeah. You were throwing your laptop across the room?
No.
Oh.
Trying to carry it gently.
You're never holding my baby.
All right. Oh, Kevin's not here, so I have to. Damn. It usually takes a lot longer to get past the "what did you guys get up to this week" stage.
I'll take that.
That's only because you limited it to a week.
That's true. That was my mistake. I messed up. But anyway, so we'll just move straight into the topic, and if it organically flows into something else, then that'll make things better. But anyway, I went on a binge of That Chapter this week, which is a awesome true crime show that's, everything we're not, charismatic, well produced, very
Mike.
well informed. The dude that does it is a legend.
Mike.
I'll put the link. Yeah, Mike. I'll put a link to his channel in the description. But it's always I've always watched it, but this week I was in the mood, so I've just been watching episodes on repeat, and episodes will come up that I've seen before, but I can't remembered. And the one that came up yesterday was Christopher Garnier. It's face value, it's a pretty simple case. We're not going to get too much into the merits because honestly, the merits of the case don't really matter. Christopher Garnier was Canadian. He was in a relationship. They broke up. He went out, found an off-duty police officer, beat her to death. Her name was Campbell. Damn it. Catherine Gamble. There we are. Knew I remembered it. Anyway, Catherine Gamble, off-duty police officer. He beats her to death, murders her, puts her in a compost bin, tries to disguise the body. The police caught up with him pretty quickly because of the copious amounts of security footage. And it just, the mind boggles people. Like, you must be aware CCTV exists in this day and age.
Yeah.
Can you just, it's like, anyway. So they catch him. He does a whole, what's it called, where they sit down with you? Interrogation there. An interrogation where he does the whole fake crying routine, gives it all. Oh, I didn't mean to. It was all, I killed her. I'm sorry. And then they go to trial. He pleads not guilty despite confessing to the police that he did it. The reason he says during the trial, the police made me say that. I didn't want to say that. I was just telling them what they wanted to hear so they'd leave me alone. And he's found guilty, obviously, again, because of the copious amounts of evidence the police had against him. Now, this is where it gets interesting. He starts to claim that he's got PTSD from killing this woman. So I thought it would be interesting for us to discuss the dark side of murdering, which is that murderers get PTSD, and no one ever talks about it.
Is this the one where he expects the Canadian government to pay for his treatment? Because his dad was like...
He didn't expect them. They did. The Canadian Veterans Affairs did pay for his psychological rehabilitation. There was even a referendum to block it, but it didn't pass. People voted against it. I would guess because they didn't want to set a precedent like that the VA didn't have to cover that. But still, so that's the situation. This poor man, after brutally murdering this innocent woman, has suffered post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Oh.
And nobody's talking about it. Oh, that's a real dark side to committing murder.
You don't ever think about how the murderer is traumatized by what he did.
Talk about the murder.
They never talk about it.
It's just a sign of how shit society's become, that we won't discuss this.
How insensitive.
Exactly. John Wayne Gacy. God, how many people did he kill? The poor bloke must not have been able to get a single good night's sleep in his entire life.
Oh, man. And Ed Gein?
Ed Gein, yeah.
I bet he was really traumatized.
He was a bit of an odd one.
Someone's got to play the voice of reason here and say that you guys... Seriously, I don't think so. It may indeed be true, but I think nursing and nurturing their mental health is rightly not the highest of priorities. Or am I just a completely heartless bastard?
I don't know. Why don't you just wish he gets raped in prison? I don't know. You're pretty harsh.
Why don't you just pray that he gets shanked by somebody in the showers, man? Come on. He's a person.
Where's your sensitivity?
He's got feelings. Feelings that were traumatized when he was murdering this poor girl. You know? And, he strangled her, so he probably had to maintain eye contact. That must have been traumatizing.
Oh, man.
You know?
I've no doubt that in some cases, when it is indeed some killers seem absolutely cold-hearted and completely devoid of emotion. I can't name any off the top of my head, not being an avid serial killer fan. But yeah, there
Wait,
are
what?
no.
Not a serial killer fan.
What?
What, you didn't collect the trading cards when you were a kid?
Man, what is wrong with you?
Man, it took me ages to get a Ted Bundy card to finish my scrapbook. I kept
I
getting
know.
bloody Jeffrey Dahmers.
Everyone snatched up them Ted Bundy, the Ted Bundys all over the place, man. They were impossible.
Worth more than gold dust. You know, everyone's a fan of serial killers. They're great neighbors. Everyone loves serial killers, Tom.
That's not your relationship conversation starter. Who's your favorite serial killer?
Who's your What's your star sign? Who's your favorite serial killer? Those are how you pick up birds in this day and age, Tom.
Gordon, that's how you pick up birds like Gabby.
What's that? I saw the Facebook meme. It says, it concerns you that I have a favorite serial killer. Well, it concerns me that you don't.
Exactly. But come on, Tom. Be reasonable. Don't be so heartless. This poor man, he was just innocently getting on with his day of murdering an off-duty police officer that never harmed anyone in her life. And now, as a result of that, he's got post-traumatic stress disorder. He's sitting in prison, you know, denied life-saving psychological techniques because he's had his freedom taken away for murdering someone, and no one's talking about it. Don't you feel a little bit of compassion for him, Tom?
Yes, I do. I do feel a smidgen of compassion, and I said it again. I do think that there will be cases where somebody will have had a moment of madness and will be, indeed, absolutely traumatized. I mean, sometimes it happens from the get-go. Like, you know, the moment the police arrive, the person who's done it is sat there shaking like a gibbering wreck. Again, I don't know any, but I can imagine. So I do apologize for not having an all-time top 5 serial killers. Or Arnold Rimmer collected Fascist Dictator Monthly. Christ knows what you collected.
Who's your favorite dictator?
Yeah.
And
I mean, everyone always goes to Hitler, but I think Mao's got some real style.
I think he has got the official highest body count of
Pol Pot.
I think Chairman Mao.
Pol Pot got?
It might be in terms of a percentage of population. I'm sure someone look up the Wikipedia article. There'll be tables on there'll be a table on this, and you'll be able to sort it by percentage of population. And I bet Pol Pot's pretty damn high up that list. I would imagine that there is a table that does that. I don't know. But if not,
nobody orchestrates a genocide like.
Well, I mean, Tom,
go on.
Some people, all right, might say that this pathetic little shit cunt of a man went out and found some girl and took all his frustrations of his ex-girlfriend out on her, and PTSD is the least he deserves. He should be skinned alive and dragged through the streets like the pathetic little man-child he is. But I didn't think
preach it.
You'd be one of those people, Tom. I thought that you, of all people, would have compassion for this poor bloke who is obviously suffering as a result of a situation that was completely voluntary and he didn't have to do.
Well, so there I go from, choosing to focus on the impact on the victims' families and things like that. And
do they have PTSD? I don't think so.
Not that the government should be paying for anyway.
Exactly.
They'll have a lot worse than PTSD.
Get over that shit, man.
She probably has life insurance,
Okay, I give up. I wave the white flag. I'm not going to argue with you about this anymore. If you're going to take the tiniest idea I have and turn the amps up to 11, then I give up. So, moving on a shade, if we may.
Obviously, we've got a really dark sense of humor, and our thoughts and prayers go to the to the family of this
Obviously.
poor woman. And I just think it's hilarious that this idiotic little shit cunt can sit there in prison and go, "Oh, I've got PTSD," after he murdered someone.
That's
He
a
didn't
bit
have to.
more like it. Thank you.
You
I
know,
thought that you'd pick up on the shtick we were going with when I said dark side of murdering, which, you know, obviously the dark side of murdering is murdering.
Well, yes, of course I knew you were mucking about. It's just all been fun, hasn't it?
It's just,
So
you know,
anyway, it's been fun playing along. So anyway, what would you suggest we do? That I mean, now we're no longer playing. I mean, but what would you suggest that we do with murderers who claim they have PTSD? Take them for a weekend spa. Give them an extra
at
ration
the
of bubble
very
bath
least,
extra ration of bubble bath in their hot
at
tub.
very least, they should be released from prison,
yeah.
paid full 2 weeks in what's that fancy hotel in New York? It was in a Home Alone 2, the Plaza, something like that.
Okay, that sounds good.
Full 2 weeks at the
No,
very
he's
least.
Canadian, so it's got to be downtown Toronto.
Oh, right, yeah. So whatever's cool in Toronto, 2 weeks, spas, massages. We got to pamper this poor man who's suffering needlessly as a result of his own actions.
And don't forget the lifetime dole payment from then on. We got to put him on the dole.
Absolutely. Should be siphoning government money and putting it in his hands. He has obviously suffered a great deal for no reason whatsoever. There was literally no reason to do what he did. And I think that, you know, the poor bloke suffered enough, honestly. The poor bloke suffered.
You know, I do want to take a point. This is a Canadian story, and I'm really grateful that this dude's serving time at all. There's a lot of Canadian horror stories, and they just don't really even seem to really care. There was the what was that, Magnum Guio or something like that, where he was like recording himself killing cats, and the internet was the one who tracked him down when he started.
Yeah, I don't like saying his name. So it gives him attention, and that's all he ever wanted. But yeah,
and then there's that other one, Vincent Lee. That one gets me. He only served like 6 years. He was not criminally responsible, and so they put him in a mental institution for like 6 years, and he was like, "Oh, I'm cured," and they gave him a new identity, and now he just lives every day like normal.
Yeah, that Carla Homolka girl as well. It turned out she cut a deal, flipped on a boyfriend, and then it turned out she was the mastermind, and they'd given her immunity.
Right. These Canadians, they're a joke. So that they're paying for PTSD treatment for this guy doesn't really surprise me. And I guess I'm glad that he's in prison.
So
it's not
that's actually happening then. People are being it's more than just one isolated example. I've met multiple murderers claiming PTSD and seeking treatment.
I think it's a sign of the times. I was having a talk with my brother about this earlier, and he reckons that it's a sign of the time that you just move because it's in to have like mental health issues a lot these days. You see on TikTok, pretty much everyone's got. There was that girl that was busted for pretending to have Tourette's recently.
Oh, Jesus.
And I think it's just, a plea that was a sign of the times. Don't put me in prison. I'm traumatized because I murdered someone.
Can't claim. They got real Canada has real lenient, not criminally responsible. And if you can claim a mental disorder. That's what Vincent Lee got. And he beheaded a guy and ate part of his face off or some crap. So if you can...
Didn't even cook him as well, the savage.
Yeah, it was disgusting. And
Could have fried that up with some mushrooms, maybe a bit of garlic.
I hear the thigh, the back of the thigh. That was Albert Fish's favorite part, right under the buttocks.
It's supposed to be really good for your cannibalism. There's headhunters in New Guinea lived a long time.
Yep, and I heard they started laughing and couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, prions are an unfortunate side effect of cannibalism, but you know.
What are you going to do? There's downsides to everything. Breathing will give you cancer.
Yeah, true. That's and I bet it's fattening.
Water's fattening.
Goes straight to your thighs. Hola, no flow. Como estas?
Minute on the lips, forever on the hips.
Oh, I heard a really, really refreshing podcast about the issue of sort of unsolicited advice with weight loss, and some of their possible comebacks were really, really good. There's a classic bank of sort of, if you're offended by something, there's a classic bank of things you can reach into, and they were suggesting that I forget their names. It's a pair of ladies that do this BBC podcast. I can't remember their names. Just look it up. Tara something and Marion Keys, but anyway, they're great. They're brilliant, and can we find their bloody names? It's bugging me that I can't. But anyway, get to the point, Arnold. They do this podcast, and a listener writes in and says, "I am so sick of like when I'm at the getting changed in the gym, and someone will look at the cereal bars in my bag and tell me that sugar is the new carbs and it's got to be avoided at all costs." And, she's about to put sweetener in a coffee bar, and someone will come up to her and say something like, "Oh, you can't, no, don't use that, aspartame, it's really bad for your liver," or something like that. And she's it's actually twice as bad for you as sugar if it's the waistline. And I mean, what? Why are you laughing, Gabby? What would? I'm sorry, I'm going on a bit of a monologue about this, but
I got my thigh. I got a thigh.
Go on, hit it.
You know what's really great for weight loss?
Yeah.
A broken hyoid bone. Keep talking.
What? Well, I don't even know where in your body that is.
You know what's really good for weight loss? A tapeworm.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
God. Oh man, are there? I bet there, for one reason or another, throughout human history, I bet there's people who have deliberately infected themselves with them, either as part of some ill-conceived spiritual ritual or as some terrible way of managing your weight. But either way, it sounds ghastly. Deliberately inviting a tapeworm infestation in your abdomen.
They do. It's a real thing.
They did. The Rexall Drug Company used to sell tapeworm eggs as weight loss.
Mail order catalog a tapeworm, bro.
You're kidding me. Well, actually, I know.
No, me and Phil did a whole deep dive on Rexall Drug Company back when we did Unexplained Universe. And they were insane. Like, they had electric baths, tapeworms for weight loss, cocaine as an energy enhancer. I mean, that would, to be fair to them, tapeworms would make you lose weight and cocaine would give you energy. So these things would work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, blimey. Well, that at least nobody had encouraged the person who wrote in to invite the tapeworm into their.
They used to, and didn't they have like a procedure to remove it? Like it was like you put the tapeworm in and let it live for like 30 days, and then you like somehow
And
killed it and pooped it
they
out.
give you worming tablets and poop it out. Yeah.
Ugh. Well, whole
And you
thing
can eat all you want because the tapeworm just interferes with it. Yeah.
sounds absolutely ghastly.
Well, it would work.
I ate it. I go to like the family or whatever, and my aunt, she always looks at me and she goes, "You lost so much weight," and I'm like, "No, I haven't. I'm the same weight." It's like it's not really a compliment. She thinks she's complimenting me, and I'm like, "Man, I must just be really fat in your memory or something, right?"
Yeah.
Now I know how you really think about me. I'm just a big old fat ass to you. Not really a compliment if I haven't lost any weight.
I'm sure she's just being nice.
I know, but it's not really nice.
No. So yeah, they did in fact used to prescribe tapeworms for weight loss.
That was actually was it prescribed
by
by
doctors.
In which country? Ours?
America.
Yeah.
Oh.
And England. Yeah.
Mine.
It was all the rage, Tom.
Your country used to put arsenic in the wallpaper and everything.
Yep.
Arsenic in the wallpaper.
Oh yeah.
We used to put 8-year-old kids up chimneys.
What do you know?
Oh no, we.
Arsenic in a wallpaper wasn't even the worst thing we ever used to do. Not to mention we conquered a quarter of the globe.
Don't you ever watch Tony Robinson, Worst Jobs in History?
Yeah, I've seen some of those. The Victorian ones were pretty ghastly.
Yeah.
There's that one blonde chick with the curly hair that goes around. She was doing Dangers in the Victorian Homes. That one's a good series.
I did read that. I did read. This is only in the sort of horrible histories, so hopefully it's true enough. They did one of the tricks or the tests that the most militant of sort of homeowners would do with their servants, their sort of mansion owners and things, was they would hide a couple of coins they'd hide a couple of coins in say under a rug or something, and if it wasn't returned to them, then either like promptly, then either A, they'd found it and kept it, or B, they'd not found it and had therefore not been doing their cleaning properly, and they would fire them on the spot. So best case scenario is, of course, that coin is discovered pronto and given straight to the boss. I found this under a rug, my lord. Very good. I planted it there just 2 hours ago. You may go.
At least they were able to get fired and they weren't slaves.
Oh, and now
that's true. They could go get an equally horrible job somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. Freedom of choice, baby. Magna Carta. Wow. That was terrible. Who's your favorite Roman emperor? Mine's Caligula.
Caligula?
I love Caligula.
I gotta go with the OG, Caesar himself.
Oh, you like Julian?
Dude was a legend.
He really was. He said when he saw the statue of Alexander in Greece, he bowed down and wept.
I'm nowhere near educated enough on my classics or Roman history to have an informed, or even an ill-informed opinion about who my favorite Roman emperor is. That's it's out of my field of knowledge completely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the best I could do would be to say sort of the one that, and then rack my brains for what's even half a memory. Okay, who was it who was meant to have said, "I came, I saw, I conquered"? Was that Caesar again?
That was Caesar.
Julius Caesar.
I mean, is there any?
Veni, vidi, vici.
You know
Oh,
that used to be on the Marlboro packs, and they recently took it off. But in the last 10 years, they took it off. But it was always on the Marlboro packs. Beanie, Beanie, Beachy.
oh, okay. It does sound. There's something so lovely about Latin. I imagined once, and I never got anywhere with this, thankfully. I imagined once making a like a concept album where every song title was in Latin or in French, sort of classic French phrases that made their way over here or something.
Ugh.
You know, and things like coup de grace and avant-garde and stuff like that. But I wondered if you could do it with Latin, if you could stitch together a concept album with I don't know what story you'd be able to tell, but sort of contrive it into yeah, well-known Latin phrases.
I don't know. Sure, you probably could.
You could do that. It'd be fun.
Okay, what Latin phrases do we know? Let's see what we can come up with.
Carpe diem.
Pardon?
Carpe diem. Seize the day. Carpe diem.
Yes. No, there's a brand of watches that use that. Yeah, I forget who they are, but I've seen that in watch adverts. Yep. Yeah, I know what you mean now.
Mentis comptos.
Oh, do you mean compos mentis?
Yeah.
Yep, that's a good one.
Tempora muter, times change.
What was that, Richard?
Tempora muter, times change.
This sounds. I'm loving this. I'm all over this shit.
They victus
Ex post facto.
Go on, Gabby, you first.
Ex post facto.
Oh, what's that? I've heard that before. I can't quite pin it down. I haven't come up with a single one yet. I'm doing crap. Deus ex machina.
Spirit of the machine.
Yeah. Not that I know. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation.
Corpus delicti. No body, no crime.
Oh, that's called something slightly different over here. Habeas. That's habeas corpus. Over here, that's that. Oh no,
and on the body.
That's slightly different.
Yeah, that's where they can't hold you for longer than so many hours. We got that too, without giving you a charge. They can't just hold you indefinitely.
Yeah.
A lot of the Latin we know is legal based.
Yes.
I just heard a good one. What was it? In fuego. Something in fuego. Manos in fuego. Red-handed.
I don't know.
Fiat justitia ruet calum.
What's that?
Let justice be done, though the heavens fall.
Oh, wait, say that again. That sounds too cool.
Fiat justitia ruet calum. It's on the steps of the U.S. Supreme Court.
Oh, I've got one. It was a Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode. Inter arma enim silent legis. In times of war,
the law falls silent.
I got it. Flagrante delicto. Caught red-handed.
Ooh. There you go. We could, I bet if we write all these down in English, I bet we could stitch them together to support some sort of half-assed narrative. And then we'd have to turn them all into Latin and then write a bloody poem to match each. And bingo, the three of us could be the next T.S. Eliot.
It could be about committing murder and then getting the public to pay for your PTSD treatment.
Now, you talk. Give me that shit.
I need a Deus ex machina. Oh, they are going to pay for my treatment.
What is the Latin for arrogant man-child?
Who, me?
Affluenza.
Oh, no.
And my other friend Tom, who teaches at Oxford Latin, actually tried to teach me Latin once. It's a ridiculously complicated language.
Even more so than English.
I'm taking German lessons with my nephew.
People say that, Tom, but honestly, how hard is English? Because we learned it when we were like 4. So
Yeah, but it's bloody stupid. There's so many stupid things about English.
it's all right. Norwegian is well stupider than English.
Wow.
They have separate words for orange, okay? And it's completely unnecessary, and it pisses me off. The colour orange. No, we don't. It's just orange. The colour orange, or I'm eating an orange. That door is orange. I'm eating an orange. But
how many syllables does it have?
But
in
what
Norwegian, it would be Jeg spiser en orange, or Det doren appelsin. So,
wow, look at you.
Yeah, but what if you're eating a satsuma or a clementine or something?
They've probably got different words for that. And like has 2 different words as well. Like,
wow.
I like you. Yeah, I like a do. Or, like a boss. Som en chefe. It's ridiculous. You just, it's unnecessary. You don't need unnecessary words in a language. Yeah, I could just go on. Sorry, I'm ranting.
I think when they're talking about it being a difficult language to learn, it's all the vowel sounds. Like in other languages, like I'm learning German with my nephew, and it's like when you see an ah, it's always gonna be ah, and it's never gonna, like whenever you see that, it's always gonna, that vowel is always gonna make that sound. Whereas in English, our vowels make different sounds.
And we have different ways of writing the same vowel. It's complicated on both fronts. I mean, take the sound A. It's spelt differently in each of the following words: atrium, ballet, the number 8, past tense of the verb 8, clay, and there's loads more that I can't even think of right now. Maid.
When you said 8, I thought the number 8, EIGHT.
Well, there's that, and then there's A gap magic E, which is another way of doing it. So both of those homonyms have different ways of writing the sound.
It's like, I see. English is definitely like I said, I'm learning German, and it's like you see that, and that always says that, so you don't even have to speak the language to kind of sound like you speak the language.
Just quick conversely, then you see a letter A and it will make a different sound in the words apple, and in gain it joins with the I to make the sound A. So there's so many different ways to do it. I mean, even when you see it on its own, why is it whenever I try to say what sound does letter A make when it's on its own, all I can think of is apple and anal.
Because you're a creepy old perv.
Yeah, man. But in anal,
you're lucky I sat on that one.
Doesn't even have to be sex. What about the South Park episode Cartman gets an anal probe? Let's go with that. The letter A,
anal thermometer.
Yeah, exactly. The letter A appears twice, and it makes a different sound each time. A and A in the word anal. So there you go. So no. I wonder the English language is so bloody useless.
All right, Mr. Vowel Man. I got one, A-E-I-O-U and sometimes Y and W. When are Y and W vowels?
Well, there's some words where Y is the only verb, such as WHY. Y. It's the only.
Okay.
It's the only.
When is W ever a vowel?
You want to know? You don't know, and you want to know? It's when it's grouped with that O, like in show, SHOW, or like,
Yeah.
I like the word window. Window, it's a consonant and a vowel. And then like yesterday, the Y is a consonant and a vowel.
Yeah. I don't know exactly how you define the difference. I think it's something about a vowel can be ongoing.
I'll tell you how they define a distance. Some smart arse sat down and worked out that an A, an E, or an I, or an O, or a U appears in every word, but there are a couple like fly and Y where they didn't, and he completely forgot about them. So he had to hastily correct the rule so he didn't look like a total dickhead. That's what happened. I can guarantee you that's what happened.
Fair enough. I wouldn't argue with you.
As good as plan as any.
No, I'm
Official
telling you,
narrative.
that is what happened. I guarantee you that's what happened. Someone went, oh shit, we forgot about these. We'll just say that Y can be a vowel sometimes. Totally fine. Nobody has to know.
Yeah, but then what about W?
I don't think W's ever a vowel by itself.
I've never heard. Yeah, I've never heard it counted as a vowel. Not at all. Well,
Okay.
I don't think I have.
I just told you when, not by itself.
But it's next to an O, which is a vowel.
I've never heard it said before. Is that something you read once, Gabby, or did you just make it up for fun?
No, it's real. It's a real thing. I'll send you links after the show.
Okay, sure.
I don't know if it's ever by itself, but when it's like in window, the OW on the end, that W is a vowel. It's got to do, cousin Megan knows all about it. When I brought it up, she went into about vowels, and it's got something to do with it hitting in the back of your throat. That's what makes it a vowel versus a consonant, which is like a harder sound or something.
They certainly are harder sounds. That's part of it. But I don't know what, if any, the hard and fast rules are. There's never any hard and fast rules of grammar in English. There's no one.
Yeah, there is.
Well, there is, but there's no what. There are
There's tons
official
of
rules,
them.
but there are also bones of contention, like the Oxford comma, for example.
Oh.
What there isn't one universally accepted official document this is the grammar of the English language. There's such a thing doesn't exist.
But don't let Nikki hear you say that.
No, there's an official rule book, because then what else would the grammar Nazis stump on?
Exactly.
There are
Nikki will argue with you till the day you dawn. There is a specific grammar that I take great delight in not following when I'm talking to her.
Well,
right.
Go on, Gabby.
All right. Proper grammar says not to end a sentence in a preposition. So, like, off is a preposition. So that really pisses me off, right? You're not supposed to say that. That's not a proper grammar sentence. So how do you put off into the sentence so it's not at the end? You can't say that really pisses off me. That means something completely different.
Yeah, suddenly one little word switch and suddenly we're in the delightful world of water sports.
That one always baffles me ever since I heard that. Not to end a sentence in a preposition.
Having taught English, in English comprehensive primary school for 20 years, I've learned some things about grammar, but that is not something that I've ever encountered. Is that idea that you can't end a sentence on a preposition?
What?
Oh,
we learned that in school, Tom.
I didn't.
I know. What do you know? What is your degree in? Did you get your
Was it
teaching
like collect
certificate off of
20
Cracker
cereal
Jack?
box tokens and become a teacher?
My degree is history and politics, and I have a master's in propaganda.
But you don't know nothing about the Roman Empire.
No, I
Wow.
never.
Yeah,
Happy,
What do they teach?
wait. You've got a master's in history and you don't know about the Roman Empire.
yeah, but I know about Stalingrad and the Cold War and stuff, as you know.
Oh man, you're just
But
like my
it's a recent
pastor.
history. It's a recent history.
I don't. Oh, yes, I'm 19th and 20th, and a bit of the 21st century.
I mean,
Well,
do you know about the War of the Roses? You're vaguely aware that happened, right?
I'm vaguely, but not
The
into
British Civil War, where, you
I'll
know,
tell you a funny story. I know a little bit about these. In one of those two, I think it was the British Civil War. Was that the vying houses of was it York and Lancaster?
no, that was the War of the Roses.
Okay, so during the War of the Roses, then there's these two houses, and I mean I can't really talk because I've just come across as incredibly thick just 5 seconds ago, but there was a teaching assistant in the class who, about halfway through the topic, suddenly said, "Oh, so they didn't all live in one big house?" And no, it's like a figurative language. You know, it's the house; it's their sort of domain. And, oh,
Okay,
I thought they were all just in one big giant mansion all together.
like the fall of the House of Usher.
And we're all like, "Nah, ain't like that."
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it was really sweet in a way. No, it was sweet. I mean, my God, I've had my far dappier moments and far more epic fails than that in my life.
William the
Worst,
Conqueror or William the Bastard?
well, personally, I'd generally call him the Conqueror. Oh, I heard a great joke on the radio today. I'll do an absolutely terrible job of retelling it, but I'll try. It was on BBC Front Row or something like that, and someone said, anyone reading Harry's book can't be at all surprised.
Oh, don't get me started.
It's all surprised that William and Harry.
Wait, let me put my seatbelt on. All right, go on.
Okay, we can't be at all surprised that two people named William, at the top of the monarchy, called William and Harry, have fallen down. I mean, look at the example set to them by William and Harold in 1066, and the audience has erupted. It was told far more succinctly than I just did. It was really fast, really
Oh,
funny.
that's good. That was good.
That's good.
So you think he's gonna get an arrow through his eye? Are you predicting the fall of the House of Diana?
I wouldn't. If I was him, I would not take any trips or any tunnels at the moment. I would definitely.
No, I think it's probably time to lie quite low, especially. I mean, I read today that some circles consider that he's actually committed quite a major security gaffe with by what was it? He described the 25 people he'd killed as one of the wasn't sheep in a minefield. He used some pieces on a chessboard, which some people have said that means there's a legitimate Salman Rushdie style threat to his life, possibly.
Yikes!
He did get very close
What
to
did they
treason,
call
and
Oh, yeah, he did marry that black chick.
yes, but that's not like
Treasonous?
a problem. No, that's not an issue. I mean, I don't care, but like, I hate that that's the main issue. You know, that she's black, and I hate that that's
really?
I hate that that's an issue at all. I hate that people are talking about that.
I know, right?
I don't like her because she's completely self-obsessed, milking this royal family thing for all she's worth, and I don't like him because he's a pathetic little crybaby that's been pampered all his life, and now he's whining for no reason whatsoever. But don't think it really matters what color she is. I mean, they're a couple of dickheads.
His grandma just died. Cut the guy a break.
No, don't cut him any slack, please. Mock
His
him
mom
relentlessly.
died. His grandma's dead. Now all he's left is Charles.
Prince.
And Andrew.
Oh, there's a program called Prince Andrew the musical, which
Oh
is
God.
That was so cringy.
Have you
I,
watched?
I sat through half an hour of it, and it was just like, oh, I can't.
Oh,
I can't.
man.
It's too bad. It's too bad.
Your Medal of Honor's in the mail.
What is it?
You deserve a medal for that.
What? Go on, Richard. So it's cringy. Why? Because it's so excruciatingly true.
It's just so lowbrow. Do you know what I mean? It's just so bloody on the nose. There's no subtlety. They're just, ugh.
What do they go for the jugular from the get-go?
Yeah, which I don't have a problem with. It's just it's not the kind of thing I find funny.
Ugh.
Right.
Like the whole
I'm
subject.
a guy that can sit through Curb Your Enthusiasm and the UK version of The Office and giggle. I like cringe humor, I really do, but that was too cringy, too much.
Right. No, I can indeed imagine. I might check it out. I'd forgotten about it actually until it just came up in conversation now.
Ugh.
But yeah, I don't like the royal family, and I think it's ridiculous that he's whining about anything. There's another one. He's up there with this Garnier plonker who's complaining about PTSD from murdering someone. I'm like, oh, did Jeeves the butler forget to give you your afternoon snack one week? Poor Harry. Do me a lemon.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah, I do believe that some of his grievances against, say, the press, for example, are legitimate enough, and I've got some time for them. But so much of what he said, I don't think it's going to be very long before he really regrets it. I mean, why did he feel compelled to tell people how he lost his virginity to some older lady in a field out the back of a pub? I mean, why? I mean,
That's made up.
You think so? Well, how do you think he lost his virginity then, Gabby?
I think Grandma paid for it.
What, some sort of training?
So accurate. So accurate. You're 16
He
now.
didn't give
Harry.
that shit away for free.
It's time you became a man.
She dictated that shit down to the letter. Well, Harry, you're 13 years old. It's about time.
Oh, Lord,
you can't just go slinging that Diana DNA everywhere.
Can't go slinging that James Hewitt DNA everywhere.
I think
SoFlo. Sorry, SoFlo. I meant to bring this up earlier, but we got distracted. SoFlo said Marcus Aurelius is his favorite Roman, and his favorite lattice phrase is "In vino veritas." Yeah, that's a good one. In wine, there's truth.
Wine, there's truth. Yeah.
I want to see Kate and Meghan wrestle in the mud. That'd be a good one. My money's on the Gypsy. Kate would kick Meghan's ass. So.
Are they tag team? Is Pippa going to get involved?
There'd be serious money involved if that was a pay-per-view.
I mean, yeah, if she wants to make a bit of cash, that's the way to go.
Yeah. But move over Tyson Fury and
well, since they cut off.
And Anthony Joshua. We're going to see Meghan, and people are paying 50 times as much to see Kate and Meghan in a paddling pool with 5 gallons of bird's eye custard.
Bird's eye. You'd think they'd spring for a named brand. Get some no-frill shit from this.
Oh,
little...
no, get some. The product placement.
I was going to say oatmeal.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've said some pretty harsh stuff, so if we're not here next week, you'll know why.
I do like Marcus Aurelius. I like Marcus Aurelius. He had a servant follow him around saying, "Remember, you're only a man."
Yeah, that's what they say. I reckon he fired that guy after the 3rd day and hired someone to tell him he was better than he thought.
I like it.
All right, so that wraps up for this week. We will return next week despite the hopes of many, where Nikki should return with the topic. It's good night from me, and it's good night from them. Good night.
Bye.
Cheers,
Good
everyone.
night.
Good night.